is such a great honor to introduce you to the Consul of Latvia in Texas, Mr. Peter Bragaus. Welcome to our show, Peter. Please tell us more about how you're involved with the European Film Festival in Atlanta.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad our film is the closing film on Sunday night. And we're here with the opening film with Ukraine. And of course, Latvia is very close to Ukraine. So it's a great honor to be here, especially these times. So, I was executive producer of the film called The Sign Painter, which was Latvia's best-selling film in 2020 until COVID shut it down. But we were selling about 3,000 tickets per day in such a tiny country. So it was a huge success, at least I would say artistically. And we've won a bunch of awards. We actually, oddly enough, ironically, we won the best film at the Moscow Jewish Film Festival in November.
Congratulations.
So we're very happy to be here at the the Atlanta EU Film Festival, and my colleague Kevin Casabir, who's honorary consul in Atlanta for Georgia, we communicate a lot. He's also a filmmaker. He's actually more of a filmmaker than I am. But that's how we got involved with the EU Film Festival here, and it's really super. We have so many people. It's really electric tonight. It's really great.
It is wonderful. It is wonderful today. Well, I wanted to ask you, how did you decide to get involved with the film industry? I guess that was not your background initially, so I wanted to hear, how did you get involved?
Yeah, so you have to be a little bit crazy to get involved in the film industry, which I probably qualify, but no. So it's a bit of a long story, but so the film, The Sign Painter, is actually filmed in eastern Latvia, which is a region called Latgala, which is where my whole entire family is from.
Yes.
I have hundreds of relatives still today. So I made a trip there in 2014, and I discovered that there was already a film about the grandfather of my grandfather, who was like a cultural icon of the region. And we have our own language called Latgalian. And so when you see the film, it's actually not in Latvian, it's in Latgalian. But so I got involved in that, and then we did a documentary about family roots, and I actually went there, and it was really heartwarming. And actually, I ended up meeting my relatives for the first time, who were deported to Siberia in 1949. My cousins, first cousins, 3 of them. So that was kind of the family film that we developed in 2014, 2015. Then I did a subsequent documentary about our language, which it's pretty obscure language and pretty obscure history, called A Time, A People, A Language. And then I got to know everybody in that region, and one of our best directors in the country of Latvia happens to be Latgalian also.
Oh, wonderful.
So we became friends together, and they asked me to participate in the movie, and I said, I have no choice. I have to support it, because in fact, the lead actor is from the same village my father is from. And the lead actor in the film, The Sign Painter, could have been my father, because my mother and father and all our relatives went through the same stuff in the war as what is depicted in the film, The Sign Painter.
Oh, that's got to be so close to your heart. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Would you like to continue involved with the film industry, with future films?
Actually, I'm involved in another film in Latvia about one of our most famous dissidents.
Yes.
Called Gunārs Astra, and I've been doing some research on him, and so I've been helping out that group. And our most exciting project now, I'm working with colleagues in Latgala. We're going to produce the first Latgalian TV comedy series ever in the history of the universe.
Oh my goodness!
Four-show series, and it's going to be about cigarette smuggling from Russia to the Latgala region, and all the foibles and all the mistakes and all the funny stuff that happens when that in that region. So that
sounds so interesting. I can't wait to watch that.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. In fact, we already have a contract with a local TV station to participate in that thing. So we're looking for a little bit more support, and then we'll produce the first Latgalian TV comedy ever.
That sounds wonderful. Well, congratulations with all your success. And we look forward to supporting you with the World CC television channel that we are broadcasting all over the world with Amazon and Roku Network. So we would love to support you with perhaps some of the work you're doing.
I love your support. Thank you.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you so much for being here today.
Super. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ņēmu pazaklausi, brīvības īla uztok nader, jei nūzasauks vienības īla.
Mums pagaidām vēl kādu nedēļu. Aka vienības īla ar nebūs eisto.
Tavs atļovi?
Cikam dzēs laulotīs neļaus.
Tev man jāapsūla, ka uz manu ziseļu vairs acis nemetīsi. Viņai brūtāts prāva.
Man ir glītas kājas.
Šmokas.
Mama nosūta vīrīlis, izveda mūsu sarakstā.
Ko tie paņem jau vaļā nelaidīs.
Vienkārši šautiņi man īdeva!
Būs karš, briesmīgs karš.
Rēt jau jābūt kazarmās.
Reitiņ?
It is such a great honor to introduce you to the Consul General of Germany, Melanie Mollman. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you, thank you. Please tell me your thoughts about this amazing event tonight, the European Film Festival of Atlanta.
Well, I'm very happy that we managed to organize it. I think for a city such as Atlanta, where film plays such an important role, we Europeans also would like to have a bit of the cake and would like to showcase our diverse cinema producers.
Wonderful, wonderful. Please tell the audience, how is the involvement of the Consulate of Germany here in Atlanta in terms, besides this film festival? I know you do many other activities. Please tell us a little bit about the initiatives you do here in the community.
Well, as a consulate, of course, we are here to serve the German community and also the American community with visa or passports. But I think a very important thing is that we like to work together with consulates, other consulates, but with schools and with universities. We try to support German companies, and we would like to work closely together with all the universities here in the region to try to get students exchanges, to have initiatives or conferences also with European researchers, for example.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you can send a message to the local community, how they can become involved with the Consulate General of Germany here in Atlanta, perhaps in some of the cultural initiatives or business initiatives.
Well, I would like to invite you to come to the Goethe Center, because it's our German cultural center and you also could learn German there. And we try to have more initiatives also in the field of climate protection in August and in the fall, I think.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. One last question in regards to the business community here locally. How do you see perhaps some interactions for some local business to be able to reach out to the business community in Germany?
Well, this is actually very easy. Atlanta has a very active chamber here of the city, but an also very active metro chamber. And we have a German-American Chamber of Commerce, and they are very happy to give information to local businesses and to help them to reach out to Germany or to Europe. But also the state of Georgia is very active, and they have their initiatives and try to bring business people to Germany. And we are very happy about that.
That sounds wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on such an amazing event tonight.
Thank you very
Consul.
much.
Thank
I
you,
enjoyed my
Consul.
evening very much.
Thank you, Consul General.
Husky, was? Freut mich. Hallo.
Hallo.
Wollen wir reingehen? Es wäre besser, wenn Sie draußen warten. En fait, j'ai un nouvel élève. Il manque encore d'assurance, mais je vais l'aider.
Bien.
Letztlich ist das Üben dazu da, dass das Stück in deinen Körper kommt. Es muss richtig im Körper sitzen. Stell dich mal locker hin.
Mama, ich möchte einen Hund haben.
Du hast schon einen. Dein Hund ist die Geige. Jonas, komm doch mal her. Willst du Alexander nicht mal begleiten? Jonas, konzentrier dich bitte. Komm, nochmal.
Ich spiele nicht mehr.
Bitte nimm die Geige und spiel weiter.
Lass mich in Ruhe, ich spiele nicht mehr!
Anna, essaie de faire attention. Tu te rends pas compte de ce que tu fais à Jonas.
Il ne travaille pas assez. Du bist spät dran.
Ich hab den Bus verpasst.
Im Konzert wartet auch niemand auf dich. Nochmal? Nein. Nein.
Was, Sie finden, dass er zu wenig übt? Wir sind mittlerweile wirklich 4 Stunden am Tag.
Bisschen schneller. Du verschleifst die Töne.
Le violon, Anna, c'est juste une infime partie de la vie.
Ich denke beim Spielen die ganze Zeit, ich schaff's nicht. Die Luft unterm Arm. Bisschen schneller. Weiter. Lass locker.
It is such a great honor to introduce you to my next guest, Consul General of Belgium, Michel Garçov. Welcome to our show.
My pleasure.
It is so wonderful to talk to you tonight. It has been such a successful event with the European Film Festival of Atlanta. What a wonderful success. Congratulations.
It was, I'm actually very proud. It was kind of a bet to start with a documentary on the war in Ukraine with subtitles, and we had a great crowd coming up, and I talked to lots of people at the end of the movie, and everybody really was impressed and loved the movie. So.
I was too. I was very pleased. Wonderful film. So thank you so much for all the work that you put together, and I know other consuls as well. So hopefully this will happen next year as well. Do you think?
Yes, I do hope it's not the last one. It was the first one, indeed. We put a lot of energy doing it. It's also a testimony of the way we work together a lot with all the European countries here in Atlanta.
Yes.
And so we managed to pull this out in a few months, and definitely we have the ambition to come up again with the festival next year.
Wonderful news, because I know that Atlanta will benefit tremendously with another European Film Festival here. Please tell us a little bit more about the role of the Consulate General of Belgium here in Atlanta and any other initiatives coming up at this time.
Sure. First, we have a very, very big number of companies here. Actually, Georgia is the state with the highest number of Belgian companies in the whole of US. We have more than 100 Belgian companies here. We have a big community as well, which we serve. And then we do a lot of connecting Belgium with a lot of different institutions and people and companies here in Georgia and the whole Southeast, because my jurisdiction is broader than just Georgia.
Wow.
Coming up, as a testimony of the very strong relationship that we have with Georgia, we have a huge delegation that will be coming to Atlanta in about a month, so it's getting near. Now we have, can you imagine, we have 350 people that will be flying from Belgium. It is a trade mission led by the princess, the sister of the king, Princess Astrid, and 4 ministers, about 200 CEOs of companies, and they all come to Atlanta. Lots of B2Bs, lot of interesting events. It's going to be a great one.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Tell us how the local community in business locally can become involved, perhaps as sponsors? I mean, you tell us how we can become involved.
Luckily, we've been working on it for since a year, and so most things are wrapped up at this stage.
Yes.
We have, for each of those 200 companies coming, we have a full program of B2Bs, so business to business meetings. So each company will have like meet 10 local companies, and we hope that in the coming years, those will bear a lot of fruits. Actually, I'm expecting lots of contracts to be signed after the mission.
Oh, that sounds magnificent! Not only here locally for Belgium, of course, but also for the community here in Georgia. So that's wonderful news. Please tell us, what are the ideas for Belgium? How, I know that Georgia perhaps is not one of the main states to come here, but now the economy is really turning in Georgia. So do you see a lot of interaction between business, between the two, the Belgium and Georgia?
No, yes, actually, as I was saying, Georgia is the state with the highest number of Belgian companies in the whole US. So we do have historically a lot of interactions. The first international flight from Georgia was to Belgium. And so that's also what brought many companies already from the 60s and the 70s. But now in the beginning, we had lots of textile company. Now we have life sciences company. We have new materials, cybersecurity, tech companies, and it's growing every week. So I'm very optimistic about the strength of the relationship with Georgia.
That is wonderful. I know that some countries are coming to Georgia for real estate opportunities. Do you view that as well, coming from Belgium?
Yes, actually, we have a couple of our Belgian citizens here who've been living in Georgia for quite a long time who are specialized in real estate. So I'm familiar with the pull factor of Georgia real estate on businessmen everywhere in the world. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I know another aspect that is going to be very interesting for the local business is understanding about investment. I don't know if there is any investors coming from Belgium to invest here in Georgia, but I know that's information that the audience will love to know.
No, so in the margin of the mission, we will sign a number of contracts of companies that are coming to Georgia, and some of the companies who are here already are expanding very quickly, like UCB and Solvay. And part of the mission will go with the princess and with the ministers, and will visit those companies, and they will announce further growth here in Georgia, further hiring of people, of qualified people.
Wonderful, wonderful. One more question. How do you envision that the film community here can benefit from this kind of festivals? And do you see perhaps more films coming from Belgium to Georgia?
Definitely.
Or to the United States?
Actually, some of our best movie makers, directors, actors have been to Atlanta already in the past few years, because, as you know, Atlanta is becoming now the new center of gravity of movie making industry here in the US. It is not so well known outside of the US yet, and so this kind of festival also helps us promote the role of Atlanta in Belgium. Not everybody in Belgium knows about the fact that Atlanta is so important in this sector. And I'm sorry to come back once again on the mission. It will be the last time. But one of the events that we will do during the mission will also be a visit to the CMII Center of Georgia State University, which has a reputation at national level here in the US for training some of the best technicians on the set of movies. And so this is all things that will become better known in Belgium after the mission. But yes, so indeed, I hope to bring more people from the movie industry from Belgium to the US, and more movies, of course.
Oh, that is wonderful. And one last message perhaps for the audience that they will be watching not only here in Georgia, but in other places in the world, in Amazon and Roku. So please, a message to the audience, if you would.
It is important, actually, what happened today. One of the war in Ukraine is absolutely tragic. One of the consequences has been to bring European countries even closer together. What happened today is one small testimony of that. If you have an occasion to go, if there is a festival of European movies close to where you are, even if it's with subtitles, even if you're not sure that you will like it, give it a try, and you'll be very surprised by the wonderful things that you will see.
Thank you so much, Consul General. As always, so appreciative of all that you do for the community. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Сцена 1, кадр 1, рубль 1. Стоп. Ладно. Папа не знаю, что. Сильнее. Мама, да, садись.
Все нормально, все живые, раненых.
Только дома разрушены.
Еще раз будет обстрел всех.
Как ты покажешь, что ты живешь 5-й год на войне? Как ты покажешь разбитый город?
Квадрокоптер тебе на, иди снимай все, что хочешь.
Нет.
Пошел. Давай. Только вы, конечно, были трохи
Вы
полегче.
тут евреев скрывали. Вот так это было.
Итак, все готовы?
Да, мы всегда готовы.
Свет! Камера! Начали!
I am so honored to introduce you to my next guest. He is the French cultural attaché for the Embassy of France, David Raffel. Welcome to our show.
Welcome and thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to congratulate you for such an amazing event tonight with the European Film Festival in Atlanta. Please tell us your involvement. I understand that you are very involved in the organization of this event. Tell us how this event came about, the film festival that is wonderful for our community. Thank you so much.
It is an initiative coming from the Council, the European Council, to have a European Film Festival in Atlanta for the first time. And what is amazing in this festival first is to have this cooperation between 11 countries. Most of the time in my field, the cultural field, we always work in a bilateral relation between France and the US. And with this festival, the new thing for me and for all of us is to have this cooperation between 11 stories of cinema, 11 cultural histories, and we work together all these histories to bring to make this festival for the first time.
That is amazing, and hopefully this festival will continue for years to come as it's so successful today. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was a success today for many reasons. First of all, it was very exciting for all of us to be together in the same event, to launch this festival with an Ukrainian movie. And I know that this documentary film was well received by all the audience, because this movie was really moving and it was a very good film of cinema, I would say. And we had all this crowd here in a very kind spirit, with the love of cinema and with the solidarity of Ukraine. So this is a very beautiful way to launch a new festival in this city, and of course we hope that we will have other editions in the future.
Oh, absolutely. The community will be so thankful if the European Film Festival in Atlanta could continue. Lastly, please tell us what other activities are you involved with from the embassy and from the government of France, that they do such an amazing job with cultural initiatives and business initiatives as well. Please tell us a little bit about that area that you're working on.
Our cultural institution called Villa Albertine will launch another first event in Atlanta next weekend, in partnership with the City of Atlanta Mayor's Office of Cultural Affairs.
Yes.
This event, the name of this event is the Night of Ideas,
It will be an amazing event from 6 p.m. to midnight at the Woodruff Art Center in the middle of the city here.
Yes.
And we partnered as well as with the Woodruff to have a 6 hours event of debates, performance, screenings, a DJ set around the theme "Where are we going?" This is a free event open to everybody who wants to subscribe.
Oh, wonderful. Please tell the audience a webpage where people can register, perhaps?
Nightsofideas.org.
Nightsofideas.org. Okay.
This event will take place in 19 cities all over the US in May, and it will be for the first time in Atlanta.
Wonderful. And the dates again? Just
May 14th.
May 14th. Thank you so much, David. It's so
Thank you
wonderful
so
to talk to you and looking forward to supporting you in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Τι εννοείς δεν βγαίνουν τα ποσοστά? Περίμενε μισό λεπτό. Αυτό εδώ. Επιστρέφω. Α, την καλέ. Θα σε πάρω μετά.
Όσο ανεκκρεμεί το χρέος, δεν μπορεί να εξαργυρωθεί η ασφάλεια. Εγώ τι μπορώ να κάνω.
Κοίτα, παπά, έχω κι εγώ όπλο.
Είσαι σίγουρος?
Μπορούμε να σας βοηθήσουμε να βρείτε μια προσωρινή λύση. Κάτι με φτηνό ενίκιο.
Αυτό που κάνεις προκαλεί άγχος και πίεση σε πολλούς σου. Άλλα σημεία πρόσβασης.
Μόνο μέσω της πράσινης γραμμής.
Να δίνεις στον απέναντι αυτό που φοβάται να χάσει.
Για buffer zone, κύριε Λέρσε.
It is such a great honor to introduce you to my next guest. Olga Gorman is actually from Ukraine and from the area where the film that we watched tonight at the European Film Festival, Atlanta. Welcome to our show.
Nice to see you here. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to say thank you for this European Film Festival. It's touched me inside so deep.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine. And I have to tell you, it was emotional for me to watch a film that is from an area that I've never been, but I can feel it as a human fellow to understand the pain and sorrow that you're going through. We can only imagine, but we cannot be certain. But if you could please tell us, how do you envision for the United States or perhaps other countries around the world to support Ukraine in this moment? What is it that you wish for your country to be supported by other countries?
Thank you for your question. I feel like everybody around the world just have to ask their government to support in military way, to support with heavy weapons, to support with humanitarian aid, and to support to Ukrainians in any way everybody can. And especially USA government did so well, but I just feel it's not enough.
It's not enough, right. Oh, I can imagine. And I have to tell you, I think that there will be also a message for some people that they still are not convinced of all the pain that Ukraine is going through. What message do you have for those non-believers, so to speak, at this moment? Because they are so used to different propagandas, and this is real. So what is the message that you can send to those people?
I would love these people to see in my eyes and see all this pain I feel inside me.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask everybody, one day you just lost your home, your car, your job, somebody kills your kids. How you can feel?
Yes. Yes.
You just have to survive.
Yes.
In so difficult time.
Yes. Oh, yes. I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, look, I think it's so important for people to understand what is the practical kind of support they can offer right now. Do you have any suggestions who to reach out to perhaps make some donations just for your average citizen? What do you suggest for those people that want to help and they don't want to just wait for others to do it? How could they help directly?
Yes, the biggest, oh my God, sorry.
Yes.
The best way is to help particular people in Ukraine.
Okay.
And we are a big Ukrainian community here.
Yes.
And we have our Ukrainian fund, Ukrainian community in Atlanta.
Yes.
Just go to our website and you can find everything here.
Okay. Thank you so much. No, I understand. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. And it was very wonderful to be able to watch this film from your country. And we send a message of strength to Ukrainian people and to have faith that hopefully this shall pass, as they say, and one day there will be peace in your country again.
I hope we will win. We will win for sure.
Yes.
And help. And thank you for all your support here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's time for us to believe maybe in God or whoever higher power you believe in. And the message is that we kind of get rid of our resentments and our angers and our fears. And together we can restore the water in the oceans so the fish in it are palatable and healthy, and restore the earth so that the fruit trees blossom better and feed us, and make sure that everything is healthy. It's up to us. It's not up to anyone else. And everybody gets to eat. And if anybody has invented a serum that saves everybody's lives, it should not cost any money.
It is such a great honor to introduce you to my guest, Lou Gossett Jr., Oscar winner. Please, Lou, welcome to our show.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Look at all these people here. All these nice people, smiles on their faces, people behind cameras and stuff. This is exciting.
It is very exciting.
It's much better than if I had tried to play basketball. I had to retire by now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, it is such a great honor to have you today at the European Film Festival Atlanta that is happening tonight. And you happen to be the guest of honor of this wonderful event. So my question to you is, what do you think? How would this affect the film industry in general, bringing this film festival from Europe here to our city?
Well, there's so many reasons why it's necessary. The stories from people around the world going on the screen is extremely necessary. We have challenges here, and the main challenge is for us to do things together. The young people in the Olympics, they displayed a togetherness that broke my heart, that made me feel good and uplifting. So now we have to follow that. I've worked almost in every city, every corner of the world, from France to Germany to little Asia, Australia and South America, including a great country called Chile.
Yes.
So I learned different languages, and I've been doing this now for 72 years.
That's amazing.
So I've learned something, and the main thing that I've learned from every country is from the primitives, the so-called primitives, about how those people survived and how the culture lasted so long. And what it is that what you do when you're born, there's a rule in the group that you do first something for the benefit of the whole tribe.
Yes, yes.
You start at 3, 4, or 5 years old, and you clean, you gather beans, whatever. All the way up until now, I am now an elder.
Yes.
And you're an elder for all of this for the benefit of the tribe.
Yes.
And boy, do we need that here today in this world.
Absolutely.
So we need some movies from around the world, because it's similar. encouraging us to be relying on one another for the benefit of the whole.
Yes, yes. And I believe that if all humanity thought like you, there will be no wars. And that's part of what we're having a problem today.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, I know you're the founder of an amazing organization. Please tell us more about this organization and the goals.
Well, you
that
take the
have.
word racism and you put an E in front of it. It's called E-racism. So it's a play on words. So what I see as I travel around this world over all these 70 years, I was in South Africa, you know, where the problems were there, and then I've been to Israel and Egypt, playing Sadat, and you know, where the problems were there. Went all through South America, Mexico, and there's a similarity, the Eskimos, the American Indians, about us pushing our thing ahead of somebody else. We have to be the best of everything.
Yes.
And so now I believe that there is a God. I believe very much so, especially now.
Yes.
And the message I get is that we can't survive without one another.
Yes, yes.
I certainly seem to know it, but as an elder, which is what my job is now, to encourage people around the world to rely on one another for a mutual survival.
Yes.
Otherwise, if we're not doing anything else, we may as well be in a 747 airplane. The 747 airplane is about to crash. People inside the plane are still fighting over who's going to be first class.
I love that.
That's
I
what's
love
happening.
that.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's absurd. It's absurd. How do you envision that movies can influence our society today for the better?
Oh, we have an enormous audience now, especially with computers and stuff. People trying to look at their phones and get messages of all sorts. So it's a direct connection with an audience. And it is having an effect on an audience that gets to know about films and ideas and thoughts from other people around the world other than America, other than the United States. There's a way of conveying this message everywhere. I'm glad to still be here to be able to contribute. To go back to those countries where I have a lot of friends in Spain and Chile and Mexico City and Argentina and Canada and different places. All the artists, all the Australian artists, you know, I've been to. It's a nice combination of artists. So this festival is a cement. We need to be together for some similar feelings. A lot of people think that if you live in Brooklyn, then nobody feels the same way in Tokyo.
Yes.
It's not true.
It's not true.
So we need to get really close together and realize that we are endangering ourselves if we don't do this together.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here today. I know you have many people waiting for you to come to see the audience.
All right.
So thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.